Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Goindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized. Today we will be covering verse numbers 19, 20 and 21. So verse number 19. Yayenam veti hantaram Yayenam veti hantaram Yayenam veti hantaram Yaschainam manyate hatam Ubhautau na vijanito Nayam hanti na hanyate. Can repeat. Yayenam veti hantaram Yaschainam manyate hatam Ubhautau na vijanito Nayam hanti na hanyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. Purport. When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapon, as will be evident from subsequent verses. Nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual constitution. What is killed or is supposed to be killed is the body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunction is Ma himsayat sarva bhutani. Never commit violence to anyone. Nor does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. Arjun, however, is being engaged in killing for the principle of religion and not whimsically. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody to the Bhagavad Gita class today on the 31st of December, the last day of 2023. So, we are on the second chapter, verse number 19. The translation is, neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain is in knowledge, for he slays, for the self slays not, nor is slain. So actually we are continuing this same conversation. Last time we did verse numbers 17 and 18. And what was the theme of those two verses? It was, the soul cannot be killed. And the body cannot be saved from dying. So the body has to die, but the soul does not die. That was the theme. And today, the difference between the body and the soul is further being discussed, further elaborated. Okay. So now here, the first point that comes is, the soul is too small to be killed by any material weapons. That is important. The second part is important. However small it can be killed. But the point is, by any material weapons it cannot be killed. As such, the soul cannot be killed in any way. That's a separate issue, because it's of a different constitution altogether. But this is a point which modern science does not recognize. That is why the spiritual science gains more importance. Second, the soul cannot be killed because of its constitutional position. Constitutional position means it is made like that. A car is made to move from one place to another. A building is designed to remain fixed in one place. Can you put a building on wheels? Not possible. Or can you fix a car in one place? Then it doesn't serve the purpose. So the constitution of the body is different and the constitution of the soul is different. Modern science studies the body thoroughly, from head to toe. Every part of the body is thoroughly studied. But about the soul, the knowledge is zero. The soul is not killable. Again, the same point is emphasized again and again. Just because the soul is immortal, it does not mean one can go on killing the living entities. You say, I am killing only the body, the soul is not dying, so it doesn't matter. No, that argument is not correct. It is not the fact that when you explain that the soul cannot be killed, it is not that you are given a license to kill. James Bond 007, license to kill, okay? It is not like that. You have no license to kill in any case. Or you do not even have license for animal slaughter. This is very important to be noted. Just because the soul it cannot be killed, you cannot say it's okay if I slaughter the animals. After all, I'm only killing the body. No. Because when you commit violence, and that is why that word has been given, ma himsayat, that means killing anybody is a crime, not just human beings. I don't know how many of you know this. In Mumbai today, right now, you cannot cut a tree. You know that? If you cut a tree, action will be taken just like killing a man. That is the law. So any living entity, forget human being. If you kill a human being, it's known as murder. But if you kill other animals, it is known as killing. But scriptures do not give open general license for killing. No. Killing of the body without authority is abominable. Sometimes killing is permitted, but without authority one cannot kill. Now, when is killing permitted? A soldier shoots in a war and kills the enemy. Is he subject to hanging? Do they arrest him? A policeman shoots and kills somebody when there is a riot going on. Is the policeman an offender? No. But the same policeman or the same soldier, when he goes home and he has a quarrel with his wife and he shoots her, what happens? Is he pardoned? You have got license to kill? No. So killing is permitted only under authority. When the commander says shoot and the soldier shoots, he is given an award. But when there is no permission to shoot and somebody shoots and kills, he is arrested. He is put behind the bars. He may be hanged. Depends on what the situation is. So it doesn't mean that just because the soul cannot be killed, you have a license. No, it's not like that. Arjun was asked to kill because he was fighting a war. But for what? That is where Arjun made a mistake. He said, I don't want this kingdom. Krishna said, fool, I am not asking you to fight the war to gain the kingdom. The purpose why you are fighting the war is to protect dharma. That is the reason you are fighting. Not to kill whimsically. I'll shoot anybody, I will kill anybody, I like this, I don't like that. No, aisa nahi hota. It's not like that. So killing is also a very responsible act. You cannot just kill anybody for any reason. It's all done under great consideration. A murderer is hanged. That is also killing. But who is doing that killing? The judge. The judge gives an order, hang until death. That is the order. And at that time, he is hung and he has got to die. But why is that done? Even the king gives an order. Kill him, hang him. So what is explained? It is explained that when a man commits a murder, and for that if he is hanged, if he commits a murder, the law of karma will take over. Whether the law of the land is catching him or no, whether he is escaping, whether he is evading the law, that is another issue. But the law of karma immediately comes into action, and immediately he will have to be killed in turn, somehow or the other, at some time or the other. So when the king gives an order, when the judge gives an order, hang him, that means that karma is nullified. That is how it works. So that actually on the part of the king is an act of mercy. On the part of the judge, it's an act of mercy. So there is so much of intricacy involved in all this. Again, when somebody is traveling and some dacoits come and attack him. His wife, his daughter, his mother are with him, and they are coming to steal, rob, rape, and kill. What do you expect him to do? Keep quiet? Ma himsayat, I will not commit violence. Is it so? What should he do? He should hit back in self-defense. And if it comes to the worst, he may even have to kill them, because otherwise he will be killed. And he will have to protect them. So this is protection of dharma. So for a legitimate cause, it can be done, not otherwise. It is again always, it's only to fight injustice. That is how it is allowed. Now, so this is briefly what we have discussed about this, verse number 19. Now we go to the next verse number 20. It's a very important verse. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuya ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Translation is, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. This is the authority of the Gita, direct from the horse's mouth, straight from the God, the Creator himself. Who can describe the creation? The Creator. Who can describe it best? The Creator himself. So we have to accept his word without any doubt or without any misgiving. No if and but in it. So this is how spiritual science is absorbed. Once a person asked Prabhupada one question. He said, how can it be, anything be eternal? Everything comes into being at some point of time and it goes out of existence at some other point of time. So, did not come into being, will not come into being, and all these things, how is it possible? Prabhupada said, now we are not in a world of eternality, we are in an ephemeral world. Ephemeral means everything here is temporary. It comes and it goes. It doesn't remain permanent. So we are in that kind of a world. So from sitting here, if you try to understand how that can happen, it is difficult. Once you go there, to the kingdom of God, to Vaikuntha Loka, then you will be able to understand how it happens. Like here, when you see a child, you say, when was this child born? Date of birth kya hai bachche ka? Simple question. Because we know child is born means that must be a date of birth. But there is nothing like date of birth. And there is nothing like death also. So that is a different concept altogether. So soul belongs to that world, coming from a different world, the spiritual world. That is the constitution, that is the nature of the soul. Its dimension is different. Purport. Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part of the Supreme Spirit is one with the Supreme. Qualitatively. That means the soul and God are one in nature, not one in stature. Please try to understand. One in nature, qualitatively the same, but not quantitatively. Quantitatively, one is Anu. Anu means atom, atomic. And the other is Vibhu. Vibhu means infinite, no limit, no end. Qualitatively, the small atomic fragmental part is one with the Supreme. He undergoes no changes like the body. Sometimes the soul is called the steady or kutastha. The body is subject to 6 kinds of transformation. What is the first? Takes its birth. The body always comes by birth. Whether it is human being, animal, insect, or any living entity. The body is subject to 6 kinds of, it takes its birth from the womb of the mother's body. Remains for some time. Grows. produces some effects. It may have children, reproduction, gradually dwindles, old age, and at last vanishes into oblivion, death. So this is the changes in matter. These are the changes in the material world. Birth, growth, reproduction, old age, death. Remains for some time. For some time there is continuity. The soul, however, does not go through such change. The soul is not born, but because he takes on a material body, the body takes its birth. Radha Gopinath. The soul does not take birth there, and the soul does not die. Anything which has birth also has death. That is a shloka for that. Jatasya hi dhruva mrityu. And because the soul has no birth, he therefore has no past, no present or future. It's very difficult to imagine that kind of a situation where time is not flowing. Time is conspicuous by its absence in the spiritual world. It's only here that time is operating. There is nothing like time in the spiritual world. He is eternal, ever existing and primeval. That is, there is no trace in history of his coming into being. Under the impression of the body, we seek the history of birth, etc. of the soul. The soul does not at any time become old as the body does. The so-called old man, therefore, feels himself to be in the same spirit as in his childhood or youth. So we'll just take up some points for discussion here. For the soul, soul is eternal, body is ephemeral, temporary. Soul does not age. There's nothing like age for the soul. An old man points to his photo as a small boy and says, "That is me." You will be wondering, look at this man, how old he is. And this small boy, he says, how can that be him? So what is same? Soul is the same. What is different? Body has changed. That is the point. Soul is recognized by the consciousness in the body. That is how you recognize the existence of the soul. Otherwise, you can't see the soul, you can't touch, you can't feel, nothing. It is beyond the senses. It is transcendental. That is the meaning of it. But how do you know it is present? Take an example. It is daytime, but there is heavy cloud. So it is quite dark. Andhera chha jata hai. But still some light is there. It is not like night. Some light is coming through the clouds. So you know that sun is shining above the clouds. Similarly, an old man is very sick. He's not able to get up and stand. He's just feebly opening his eyes, mumbling a word or two. So you know he is alive. He's not dead. So the presence of the soul is seen by the consciousness. Similarly, that is right. Then, in the Katha Upanishad, it's further mentioned. There are actually two kinds of soul within the body. You wonder, what is this? One is the Jivatma, that is ourselves. Actually, we are the soul, we are not this body. Body is just temporary. Supposing now you come out of your house, you take the lift and you come down. So first you are traveling in a lift. Once you come out of you take an auto or your bike or two-wheeler and you go to the station. You park it there. So now you are traveling by a bike. Once you are in the station, you get into the train. So now you are traveling by the train. So you are changing the vehicle, but the person is the same. Similarly, we may be living in one kind of a body. At the death, we pass into another kind of a body. Then we go into a third kind of a body. So the journey of the soul continues, but the body keeps changing. So that is Jivatma, the soul. But within the body, there is one more soul, What is that? Paramatma. God comes as Paramatma. Individual soul is forgetful, the Supreme is fully cognizant. That is the difference between the two souls. The individual soul can only be conscious of what is within the body. Limitation of field is subjected to that field only. Beyond that field, the consciousness will not spread. I am sitting here, I don't know what is happening to you. Or you are sitting here, you don't know whether he is having a pain in his tooth or no. That only he knows, you cannot know. But the Supreme Soul knows everything about everybody, past, present, and future. That is known as fully cognizant. Individual soul is forgetful. After this life, when it passes into the next life, it will not remember anything of the last life. So there is a beautiful example to explain this. In the 4th chapter, there is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna is telling Arjuna that whatever I am talking to you, Bhagavad Gita, now, the same knowledge I gave to the sun god Vivaswan millions of years ago. Arjuna is looking, what is he talking? What he is telling me now, he has spoken millions of years ago. He has spoken the Bhagavad Gita millions of years ago to Vivaswan, who is the god of the sun planet, who is the controller of the sun planet. He says, wait. We are friends. I know you from my birth. But how could you be existing at that time? Arjuna is asking a simple question. At that time, Krishna is giving the answer and he explains. And that shows the difference between the Atma and the Paramatma. He says, many lifetimes I have come and gone, performed different activities. But my body is also the same. I have not changed my body. Why? Because Krishna's body is transcendental. It is not like our material body. It is completely spiritual. He says, I know everything. There is nothing I do not know. Fully cognizant, that is the meaning. But there is one word we use, recognize. Did you recognize me? We ask. So that is recognize. That means you saw me once, but you are seeing me after a long time. So do you still understand, know who I am? That is the question. But God is cognizant. We have to recognize, but God is fully cognizant. He knows everything about everybody without any hindrance. Everything is fully in front of his eyes. That is the difference between the Atma and the Paramatma. Paramatma is in full knowledge, complete knowledge. That is known as Chitta Shakti. Krishna is the super soul, source of all. He is God himself. So Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. He says, my dear Arjuna, you think that you are my friend? Fine. I accept everybody's friendship. Even if somebody approaches me as a friend, I will reciprocate as a friend. But the difference between you and me is you are a spirit soul. You have got a limitation. I am the supreme soul. I am God himself. So that is the difference. Very clearly, chapter 4, verse number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you see that, you will get it, everything. Now, who is qualified to know the soul and to know the supreme soul? It needs some qualification to know that. One who is free from material desires and lamentation. Lamentation means shok karna. Oh, I lost it. I didn't get that. I wanted that. How I miss it. That kind of feeling. That is lamentation. And one who is free from material desires. See something with somebody, oh, that is so nice. Wish I had it. All these things are material desires. Now, one who is free from all this, such a person can at least begin to understand the soul. Because as I told you, you can't catch it, you can't see it, you can't smell it in any way. You can't. It has only to be accepted from within the heart. The knowledge has to be given from within the heart. Krishna sitting within the heart has to be merciful on the soul and reveal it. That is known as revealed knowledge. Revealed means it is there, but it is concealed. So when that covering is lifted, then it is revealed. That is why our Vedas are known as revealed scriptures. हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं उसको? दर्शन शास्त्र. दर्शन शास्त्र यानी साक्षात्कार, दर्शन अंदर से होता है. You see it from inside, not with these eyes. What are these eyes meant for? They are meant for seeing material objects. Can you see the stars with a microscope? Different application, different apparatus, right? So, if you want to know anything about the soul, then you must have another pair of eyes. And what is that? Jnana Chakshu, eyes of knowledge. Exactly, if you remember the Mahabharat war, before Krishna revealed his Virat Roop, Vishwa Roop, he gave Divya Drishti to Arjun. And that Divya Drishti was also given to Bhishma. It was also given to Drona, but not to the others. So others didn't know what is happening. He is seeing the whole thing from the earth to the sky, one full form, so huge. Endless number of heads, endless number of hands, endless number of legs. Something that is very grotesque, something that is very frightful, fearful to see. He is taken aback. He says, what? Are you the same person who was my friend? Are you the same person with whom I eat, I sleep, I have interacted with you so intimately? I don't know. He is wondering, who is this? Because now he is seeing something completely different. But you can't see those with these eyes. This is known as Charma Chakshu, made of skin, bones, flesh, mucus, etc. But that is Jnana Chakshu. One more thing talking about this. Brahma, the first created living being, come from the navel of Garbhodakshai, Vishnu. His body is made completely of intelligence. Our body has got 8 elements. 8. What are the 8 elements? Anybody knows? 5 elements? Yes, fire, air, ether, water, all these things. Panchabhutas. What are the other 3? MBA, Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. Mind, intelligence and ego. So intelligence is also one of the elements with which all the living entities are made. One of the elements. Brahma is so intelligent that his entire body is made of intelligence. Other things are there in minute quantities. So can you imagine his intelligence? So then we should understand creation of the Lord is also so special. We only see around us what we can see and we think that is the end of it. That is much more to it. Only thing is, these things we cannot verify, see, touch and understand. But through the knowledge of the scriptures, we can begin to appreciate and understand these facts.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Parents should see that their children are not crying. They are disturbing.
And only one, by the grace of God, can get this knowledge. And that grace of God comes as Guru. Comes through the medium of Guru. And that is why Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, we address him as His Divine Grace, HDG. What is that His Divine Grace? It means Krishna's Divine Grace. Krishna is God. God's Divine Grace. So that is why we say His Divine Grace. In Hindi, it is said as Krishna Kripa Murti. Krishna Kripa Murti Srila Prabhupada. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So, Guru is the grace of Lord coming down in a personified form in front of us. That we should understand. Not an ordinary person. And only by the grace of, that is why to gain such knowledge, one has to go through the medium of Guru. That is the pre-qualification. And Krishna tells to Arjun, why am I telling you all these things? This is not common knowledge. It cannot be given to all. He says, I am giving this to you because Bhakto Sime Sakha Cheti. What is the meaning of that? Because you are my devotee. You are Bhakta. And Sakha. Sakha means friend. Friend means you don't have envy for me. And because you are my devotee, devotee means one who loves you and serves you in devotion is a devotee. You are devoting your time, you are devoting your money, you are devoting your effort, you are devoting your energy to serve that person. So that is why devotee. So devotee and friend. Bhakta Sakha. So if you want to understand this knowledge, you have to develop devotion to Krishna. And that comes automatically. Once only those persons will sit and hear this knowledge who have the curiosity in them, jigyasa. And that is why it is said. And jigyasa to know what? Not to know about things of this world. That you come to know anyway. To know those things which you can't even see with your eyes, but which you know is the truth. Like the soul or God. So that is known as, and Brahma means spirit. So Brahma jigyasa. Those who have got the curiosity to understand the spirit, the moving force behind everything that is occurring in this manifested world. So one who has got that curiosity to know that, only such persons have the qualification to absorb this knowledge. That's what Krishna is telling. Okay? It's an internal process. Acquiring this knowledge is not sitting and studying the books 10 times or 20 times or making it by heart or trying to, write it like an imposition. That way it will not enter. It will enter when you have sincerity of the heart. I want to know. Tadap honi chahiye hriday mein. Then the doors of knowledge are opened. And Krishna reveals that knowledge. That is the beauty. Teshamevanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayam bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvatah. This is what Krishna says. What does he say? Tesham evanukampartam. Out of compassion towards those souls who have that curiosity. He opens that valve which is controlled by him within the heart. The valve to know. The valve of being able to understand. This is not material understanding. This is spiritual understanding. This comes by the grace of the Lord. So that means the grace of God is very important. And with God, you can't cheat. With God, you can't put up a pretense. You see, language is used by people very often to cover the truth rather than to speak the truth. Very often. They say no. मुंह में हाँ नहीं, मुंह में ना दिल में हाँ, ऐसा कुछ कहावत है. So what is that? You have something in the heart and you say something else with the mouth just to make a pretense, just to put up. But Krishna is sitting right within the heart as Paramatma. He doesn't need language. He can catch the very thought. That is the beauty. So then, now we move to verse number 21. And that is, Veda vinashanam nityam ya ena ajam avyayam katham sa purusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. The translation is, O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn and immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? So all these three verses which we are doing together, it is having the same theme. Just because the soul cannot be killed or is eternal, one does not have the license to harm or kill anybody. One can kill only under authority or when one is to be punished by law. When a policeman or a soldier shoots to kill enemy, he is rewarded. But when he shoots whimsically, he is punished. Who can decide who should be killed and who should not be? Only a responsible person in knowledge, like the judge or a government authority, or one who has got the wisdom. King's punishment is actually beneficial. Now, was Arjuna justified in fighting the war or not? He was justified. Why? Because he was fighting to protect Dharma. If Dharma is not protected, there is chaos in society. Even for ordinary simple traffic, we need to observe rules and regulations. Keep on the left side of the road in India. If you go abroad, you may keep on the right side of the road. But whatever is the rule of the land, you have to follow that. Otherwise, there is chaos. Supposing you go to US and start driving on the left side. No, in Bombay, I was driving on the left side. Is it correct? Whatever is the law of the land, you must follow that. Otherwise, everybody is on the right side and you are on the left side. Means you are going against the current. You are causing chaos and confusion by not observing the law of the land. So even for simple flow of traffic, stop at the red light and go at the green light. If you don't follow that, then there is total traffic jam, isn't it? Similarly, there is a code of conduct for people to live on a day-to-day basis. So certain things you are supposed to do, certain things you are not supposed to do. These things have been laid down. So Arjuna is protecting that dharma. Code of conduct, he is protecting that. And therefore, he was given authority to kill. Krishna is like a surgeon. A knife in the hand of a murderer can take a life. But knife in the hand of a surgeon can save a life. What is Krishna doing? He is cutting out the cancer from the social body. That is what he is doing. And he is using Arjuna as the knife. Instrument. Nimitta matra bhava sarvya sachi. Just become an instrument in my hand. This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. I want you to become an instrument. When Arjuna refused to fight, he says, okay. After explaining the entire Gita, in the 18th chapter, towards the end of the Gita, what is Krishna telling? Yathechasi tatha kuru. Now do what you want. I have explained to you the whole thing. Krishna never interferes with the free will of an individual. Please remember that. He can give so much detailed explanation. But after doing all that, he will not interfere with your choice. Choice is always given to us. Therefore, there is karma. If there is no choice, how can there be karma? Karma means punishment for the wrongdoings or reward for the right doings. That is karma. So if you don't have a choice, where is the question of karma? It doesn't arise at all. So you have to take the responsibility for your actions. So now he is telling Arjun, Yathechasi tatha kuru. Now do what you want. And what is Arjun replying after hearing the whole thing? Karishye vachanam tava. I will do according to the instructions you have given me. Means, when a living entity surrenders to the will of the Lord, follows his duties, and executes the desire and the instruction of the Lord, that is the success of his life. That is why Bhagavad Gita starts with one question. What is that question? Who is asking? Dhritarashtra is asking. First chapter, first verse. He is asking whom? Sanjay. Who is Sanjay? His charioteer. And Dhritarashtra is blind. He cannot see. But he wants to see what is happening in the battlefield. So he is telling Sanjay, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre mama veta yutsava pandava mama kaschaiva kimma kurvata sanjaya. He says, what are the sons of Pandu and my sons doing in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is also Dharma Kshetra. That is why Dhritarashtra is worried. It is Dharma Kshetra. It is a place where Dharma is protected and he knows his sons are against Dharma. So he is very anxious for them. And he's asking this question. Sanjay is giving the reply, the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita. First verse is a question, last verse is the answer. Yatra yogeshwara krishno yatra partho dhanurdarah tatra shrir vijaya bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama. His answer is very clear. What does he say? Yatra yogeshwara krishno, wherever there is the master of all mystic yogas, Krishna. Yatra partho dhanurdarah, and where there is his obedient follower executing his duty. Tatra, Shri means beauty, Vijaya means success. Dhruva nitir matir mama. This is certainly the fact, in my opinion. So what is the answer of Sanjaya, in short? He has told him very frankly. What has he told him? Your sons are going to die and Pandu's sons are going to win. The answer is clear cut. And 698 verses of Gita, it's got total 700 verses, are an elaboration of the last verse. Why one must follow the instructions of Krishna. And what is the real meaning of success in life? Success in life means surrendering to the will of the Lord, making yourself an instrument in His hand. That rather than I want, what I want, that is egocentric living. Your ego is topmost. But when you say Karishye Vachanam Tava, that is God-centric living. That means you are willing to execute the orders of God. You are ready to fulfill the desires of God. You are ready to become an instrument in His hand, keeping aside all your inflated ego. Actually, what is ego? You know, there is one verse in the Gita, chapter 7. Ichha dvesha samutvena dandabandva mohena bharata samoham sarva bhutani sarge yanti parantapah. What is the meaning of this? It says, for why do living entities come into this world at all? This world is actually a jail. So we are here under constraints. We are not free, completely free. So why are we put in a jail? Who comes in a jail? An offender. Gunegar, jail mein jata hai, isn't it? Others don't go into the jail. One who has broken the law. So we have broken the laws of God in the spiritual kingdom. And what is it? We are supposed to serve God. The finger is supposed to serve the body. Can the finger hold the food in its hand and say, I will digest it myself, I will not put it in the mouth? Will it help? So that constitutional position of the finger is to put the food in the mouth. If it doesn't do that, it is also not going to get nourishment. By holding the food in the hand, the finger is not going to get nourishment. But when it puts the food in the mouth, what happens? It goes into the stomach. It is digested. And the whole body is nourished. So when every individual performs according to their prescribed position in the society, then the entire society flourishes and is nourished. That is how the whole system has been made. It is envisaged and made by God like that. So if we fit into the system, then we are not a cog in the wheel. That means we are not creating disturbance. That means then we are in harmony with God's will. And that is the success of life. Yatra yogeshwara krishno yatra partho dhanurdarah tatra shri vijaya bhutir dhruva nitir matir mama. So this is the simple formula that the Gita is teaching us. And today, the last day of 2023. So it is time for us to reflect back on 2023 and to see ahead into 2024 and move ahead with the flow of time. Time and tide wait for no man, right? So just share something with you. Yes. I have to make one small announcement. Hare Krishna. There is going to be, we are going to have this journey of self-discovery course. See, actually here we are trying to give a small understanding of the Gita. But you have to study it in detail. You have to give your time. You have to have the book at home, and you have to attend some classes for this. Then it can be proper study of Gita. And then it will help you to internalize this knowledge. So see, this is the pamphlet, and he will be there at the gate. So while going out, please have a look, understand the message that he has got for you, and if you feel, you can register yourself for this journey of self-discovery. Believe me, this is an excellently structured course which gives you the entire knowledge of the Gita in 6 sessions of 2 hours each. 6 questions are answered, and when these 6 questions are elaborated in each of these sessions, the entire knowledge of the Gita is given to you in a nutshell. And then if you start reading the Gita, you will begin to absorb and understand it better. So please take advantage of this. Now, yes. So it is 2023 is going away, and we are going to bid farewell to 2023. Farewell 2023 from the material entanglement. Please set us free. Welcome 2024. Raise our consciousness to the fore. आंधी आए या तूफान, रखना तुम उन पर विश्वास. अरे वो तो गोवर्धन को छत बना के रखेंगे तुम्हें अपने पास. Let us usher the new year seeking Krishna's supreme shelter, the only shelter that won't falter. Krishna is our loving master. Safe we will be from all disaster. In love and joy, let's come together and chant his names 16 in number. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram Ram,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
So we have
Hare
Shivaram Prabhu who will now lead the kirtan
Rama Rama,
in a very melodious voice.
Hare Hare.
Please partake of this kirtan and welcome the new year with this beautiful kirtan. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Sing for some time. Hare Krishna. श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय। जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे निथाई गो प्रेम हरे कृष्ण